Hey, looking for a fall and winter date night fragrance? Well, this is Al-Wataniya Rawai Eternal Monarch, and this is Eternal Elite. Now, they're both from Al-Wataniya. Now, this is a rose fragrance that honestly kind of reminds me of this right here. This is Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Oud Silk Mood. It's basically a agar wood based fragrance with some additional woodiness and then some rose on top. And honestly, it's a very versatile fragrance, and I think it's definitely a good unisex, slightly femme vibe for a good office fragrance, right? But then this one right here takes the rose and kicks it up several notches, and then it adds this sweetness that kind of smells like someone took a ton of sugar and poured it into rose. Honestly, it reminds me of ruhabza. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like the South Asian simple syrup. That's what it looks like. So if you haven't checked it out, it's basically a rose simple syrup that's used in a ton of desserts. That's what this smells like. It smells like someone took a bunch of rose, put a bunch of sugar in it, and that's what this fragrance is. Definitely a good date night fragrance if you're into roses or your significant other is. I would check this out. It's Al-Wataniya Eternal Monarch. But then you have this right here. This is Al-Wataniya's Eternal Elite. Now this smells essentially like someone took Dior Sauvage Elixir and then they made it meet with the Tom Ford Ombre Leather DNA. And even though this doesn't have a leather accord in its DNA, whatever is going on with the synthetics used in this honestly starts to give off that vibe. So when you first spray it in the air and when you're kind of, smelling it from afar, the sillage of it, it smells like kind of, Sauvage Elixir-esque. But then as you get closer to the person wearing this, or as if you smell yourself while you're wearing this, you're going to get that kind of dry, leathery accord that reminds you of Tom Ford Ombre Leather, but it's not as pungent and strong. So if you're into Tom Ford Ombre Leather, but you can't handle the depth of that leather accord, then you could try this out. Or if you just want something darker than Sauvage Elixir, then this is also your vibe. So this is definitely a good date night and wedding fragrance, to be honest. But I'd only recommend wearing them, both of these actually, in the fall and the winter, right guys? So you can check these out. These are both by Al-Wataniya Eternal line.